Right, and I'm going to there you go. I'm going to hand over to Councillor Martin Wrigley from the District Council. Martin.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you for hosting all this. And welcome everybody, and thank you for attending. This has been a superb response to this launch of this lottery. I think we've had something like 100+ good causes signed up, and we have a waiting list of others who are trying to join. And they're from all across the district. I mean, everywhere from Morton Hampstead through to Exminster. I've spotted some faces I know from other places, even out to Buckfastleigh. So that's the entire sort of range of Teignbridge, really. And it's not just one style of organisation that's involved. We have arts, we have health and well-being, food and nutrition, libraries, organisations for young people, children and older people. So it's across the patch as well. And even town councils are getting involved to inform their community groups. So it's been a great response so far. This is a chance, we have a chance later to find out more. We'll be hearing from Gatherwell, who are the organisation that will be running the Teignbridge lottery. They will tell us some more of the details of what's going on here and how this is going to work. And of course, big thanks to Teignbridge CVS, to Sue and Anya and all their team for their support and for organising this and promoting the idea of this lottery to the local community. This is the first time that Teignbridge has run a lottery, so it's a bit of an experiment, and we're going to see how it works. And hopefully it will enable Teignbridge residents to support local groups in a way that they can donate to their chosen charity, but also have a chance at winning a cash prize. The idea is that this is a good opportunity to raise extra money for good local causes. And of course, we all know that money is hard in this environment. And if you're not a banker getting bonuses, then you seem to be facing cuts left, right and centre. But it's also an opportunity for organisations to promote themselves, to recruit volunteers, and for us to celebrate some of the things that are happening across the district. Many of these organisations are already supporting local people and communities through the cost of living crisis, are themselves struggling with the rising costs and lack of volunteers. That was something that came out very strongly when we had a workshop the other day organised through CVS looking at the cost of living crisis in the area. And hopefully the lottery will help in terms of that and raising funding as well. So the basis of this is that 50% of the ticket sales, which are all done by an ongoing subscription really to the lottery, 50% of the money goes to the good causes, 10% goes into the small grants fund that the council will distribute to local projects as well. Gatherwell will take you through the process after I've finished, how to sign up and how to start promoting your causes before the ticket sales begin on the 1st of November. And the first prize draw will happen in December, and the prizes are going to be guaranteed for the first period of time. And there'll be questions. You can ask questions, as Sue said, please put them into comments and we'll get them asked and answered all the way through. But before we hear from Gatherwell, I think we have a bit of a treat. We have a guest speaker and poet, Matt Harvey, who describes himself quite intriguingly, I think, as the enemy of all that is difficult and upsetting, which I quite like. But Matt's way with words has taken him from Totnes to the Wimbledon Championships, Saturday Live, the Edinburgh Festival. He's been in The Guardian, and he's even host of Wondermentalist, Radio 4's comic, musical, interactive poetry cabaret. And we're delighted to be hosting him today. So unless there's anything I've missed out, Sue, that I should have said, I think we're handing over to Matt.
Yeah, Matt, we've just changed the order. Sorry, we may have thrown you. We're just going to find you on the screen, Matt, as well.
I'm here. I'm just.
Oh, he's there. Well done. We'll just highlight you, Matt. Sorry, you'll probably, yeah, just.
Thank you very much, Martin. And thank you. Yes, I am slightly thrown, but that's good. It shows us all it's live, even though we're on Zoom. So yes, I'm just as described. And this poem is called A Difference in Teignbridge, and it's written to recognise, appreciate, and celebrate the contribution made within local communities, especially by the voluntary community social enterprise organisations known as the VCSEs. Some of them get name checked here. I couldn't name check them all, that would be mad. They're just examples, and there wouldn't be room for my clever hyphenated bits. So just, I'm not apologising, but there's a slight emphasis towards those of us who are holders of senior rail cards and still a bit wary of COVID. And I know I'm trying to reference everything else too, but I've done my best. So this is A Difference in Teignbridge. Home alone, our lives postponed. Are we morose in Morton Hampstead, discommoded in King's Stainton, down in the dumps in Dawlish, bored to tears in Bishop Stainton? No. Beyond the cosy, creamy, dreamy, clotted cliché Devon, we're keeping our distance, we're making a difference 24/7. We're food bank donators, loo roll locators, we're day-to-day, down-to-earth, door-to-door waiters. We're makers of suppers, we're grocery collectors, prescription picker-uppers, community connectors. We're next-door neighbour noticers, we're loneliness detectors. With so many kinds of zooming, keeping human, facing human, families across Teignbridge are looked after by Home Start. Bobby Tracy knitters have been making pairs of hearts. West Bank in Exminster offer exercise classes. At Alice Cross, they coax over 50s to get up off our sofas. We're online first aiders, doorstep serenaders, the extra mile going, provision providers, givers of succour to the stuck insiders. Wellmore, Morton Hampstead delivers digital support. B. Buckfastleys activities range from bat watching to sport. At Horsemanship for Health, they offer healing for the mind. What do all these have in common? They're in Teignbridge and they're kind. They're VCSEs providing care, hope and adventure. Ipplepen Community Hub's Memory Cafe offers support for dementia. Just a few tips of a big-hearted iceberg, the wafer-thin edge of a Teignbridge-wide wedge, respectful, responsive, above and beyonders, filling the absence of the heart's growing fondness. And now we're cared for in King's Kerswell, we're nurtured in Newton, we're held dear in Dawlish, nourished in Ashburton. We're whatever the problem is, solution finders, unabashed other people's business minders. In Teignbridge, we're making a difference. The difference is kindness. Thanks for having me. I don't have anything more to say to that, apart from I really wish this Teignbridge lottery well, and I hope it does well for everybody concerned.
Matt, I think that was a little short of amazing. If only we could have written that, and that's our next funding bid, I think, for all of us. That's all we need. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Well, it's a real pleasure. Thank you. I'm gonna hang in to see what everyone has to say.
And I think we're going over to Gatherwell now. I'm not sure whether it's Phil or Joey that's presenting.
It'll be me. It'll be me.
Everybody will spotlight you.
Great. Well, hopefully, can everyone see that those slides now on the screen there? Great. Well, thanks ever so much. And I'm not quite sure.
Sorry, we're not seeing your slides. We just see your desktop.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. God, you wouldn't think that we're doing this all day, every day. We're still a hiccup on these every 2 seconds. Sorry.
We're just glad it was you first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was more concerned. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Apologies. I was more thinking about how do I follow that wonderful introduction from Martin, and then the beautiful poem from Matt. So I'll kind of kick off with the introduction of the lottery. And my name's Phil Wright. I'm the general manager for Gatherwell, and we are an external lottery manager. So we are here to make sure that the lottery all runs correctly, and to ensure that you guys, as local good causes within Teignbridge, raise lots of money out of this, and it's a real success and an impact on the community for all of those different organisations that are here, but also for potentially others that over time will get to hear about the lottery, and whether that's sports teams, clubs, organisations, charities that over time can join up as well. So, as I say, the Teignbridge Lottery for Communities is the brainchild of Teignbridge District Council, although this is something that has great success throughout the country. So there's about 100 of these community lotteries set up from all over the nations, England, Scotland, Wales, slightly different in Northern Ireland at the moment, but for lots of different communities to raise millions of pounds every year for good causes. But in the background behind it is powered by the Gatherwell engine. So the platform itself is tried and tested and continually improved to make sure we're doing the best for you as good causes and also for players. And the idea behind it, you know, as Martin said at the start there, you know, there's been some significant challenges throughout COVID and also through the cost of living challenges we're having at the moment. But through a small contribution that people can make with the offer incentive that there might be something in it for them as a player, a supporter, to win some money, it means that they've got a way to support local causes in a way that's close to their heart. And for you guys, we try to make it as easy as possible for you to add an additional fundraising channel to your income generation. So how it all works, and what we'll cover today is how it works for supporters, for those residents, whether they're in Teignbridge or they might have an association with Teignbridge and have moved further afield, then how it works for them to play. Splitting the pound, which Martin briefly touched on at the start, but where the money goes, and by splitting the pound, we tell you that gives you a bit of insight to how much a ticket costs and what the prizes are and how they work. But importantly, and this is what today is all about, where it's a good cause launch, is launching it and telling you how you guys can take part in it and how you can make the most out of it. So that's kind of a key part to it. We'll also then cover sort of the support that you'll get as a good cause by being a part of the lottery. And then also we'll finish with a bit of a commitment, a bit of a challenge that we'll ask you guys to get behind, because ultimately the success of this lottery is getting as many of you guys as good causes onto the platform, and then as many local people finding out about it. And you have very much a strong message as a good cause of what you do in the community to instigate people just to take part and play. So we'll run through sort of how that all works as we go. As we said, if people want to add any questions, hopefully after 100 of these launches, we'll be able to cover off the majority of questions that come up, but we do hope that there are questions towards the end. But please drop them into the chat channel. Also, if possible, if people are able to pop themselves on mute just whilst we're going through, it just helps it when the bell goes or the dog barks or something like that. It just helps us as we go here. But yeah, don't worry if that happens anyway. So how the lottery works for supporters. So the lottery website is open. So Teignbridge Lottery for Communities.co.uk is now live. So some of you can, if you've got a separate screen or you're able to multitask, you can listen to me talk through it, and also a little look at it yourself if you'd like to. But that lottery platform is live and it is ready for good causes to go and register at the moment. How it will work for supporters is the draw will take place at 8 o'clock every Saturday. And like a lottery, the more numbers people match, the bigger the prize that they'll win. And tickets cost £1 a week. As I mentioned, it's a weekly lottery. And people, when they choose their numbers, they can choose 6 numbers, or they can do a lucky dip, and they'll get a random selection of 6 numbers chosen for them. The difference, and very much the difference around these local community lotteries, is rather than you buy a ticket and you know some money goes somewhere that does something good, and you kind of then hope, well, I'm playing just to win something with, money goes somewhere. The difference with this is when someone buys a ticket, they choose one of you to be their chosen good cause to receive the money out of their pound that is allocated to good causes. So this is where the more you promote yourselves on the platform, the more you shout about it through various, if it's Facebook or email, or put notes up on the notice board or something like that, the more you shout about you being on the lottery, the more people that will come and buy a ticket, and the more money that you will raise as an individual cause. And I kind of go through how that works in practice in a minute, about how sort of the player will find you for that. And when someone buys a ticket, as Martin said, this is generally recurring payments, repeating payments on a monthly basis. So about 95% of everyone that signs up will do so on a recurring basis. And they'll either do that as a direct debit, which is obviously just deducted out like a normal direct debit at your bank on a monthly basis, or you can set up a debit card recurring payment. Almost like a sort of Netflix subscription or something like that, where on a monthly basis from your debit card, the money will be deducted. Or people, if they would like to, have a choice of buying a block of tickets, and they can do so either in a month, or minimum is 5 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. But obviously, in terms of any sort of fundraising, it's all about that recurring revenue stream, and that's where about 95% of all players will play on. It's also important to say that individuals is £1 a ticket, but averagely across the platforms, people choose to buy just shy of 2 tickets per week is on average per player. But also we make sure, in terms of sort of safeguarding for players and making sure it's responsible gambling, although this is regarded as very, very light touch by the Gambling Commission, we do have sort of an upper limit, and we do of 20 tickets for someone to purchase in one go, and we would contact anyone should that occur, just to make sure they understand what they've done. They haven't tried to buy just 20 tickets as a one-off, just to make sure that they're all, also to make sure that they're playing for the right reasons. Across all of the lotteries, we have a very small number of people that actually do, and generally they're playing as a syndicate, so a group of players as part of that. So just to allay any fears around people playing for the wrong reasons, we've got very kind of quite strict guidelines in how we manage that. And ultimately, we want this to be good, an additional fundraiser for the community, and that's why it's sort of tightly reviewed. And then when someone wins, so as I mentioned, it's a lottery, you match some numbers, you win some prizes. When someone wins, they'll be notified and they'll be offered the chance to, they can claim their prize, or at that point, we actually ask them if they'd like to donate their prize back to you as a good cause. So we sort of pull on the heartstrings a little bit to sort of say, congratulations, you've won some money. Would you like to donate it back to the good cause that you're supporting? And about 10% of all winners do. And also we did recently have the jackpot prize donated back to the cause that someone was supporting as well, which is fantastic, makes a significant difference to organisations when I kind of explain what the actual jackpot prize is. But this is kind of a brief overview for how it works for supporters. And then we said about splitting the pound. So tickets cost £1 a week, and the £1 is split like so. So 60% goes to what's called good causes. That's you, and also then the central fund. That central fund will then be distributed on community projects, but 50p in every pound goes directly to you or good cause. So when someone comes onto the platform, they buy a ticket to support your organisation, you get 50p of every pound, and 10p goes into that central fund. 20 pence of the pound covers the prize pot, and I'll come through that in a minute. But what I'll say around the prize pot is there's absolutely no risk to you as the organisation, to the CVS or to the council to cover any of the prizes. So if you have a run on jackpot prizes, that's fine. That's all managed by us as part of that. And then so there's some running cost of the operation of the lottery as well. So that's taking the payments, managing the website, the support and everything that goes in there. And there's a small cost there. But the important bit around that 60p going to good causes is we try to build a lottery that engages people to want to play. So there is a decent prize fund, but also to return as much as possible to good causes and serve the benefit of the reason why it was set up. And if you look at the National Lottery, you look at the Health, the Postcode Lottery, other sort of well-known names, it's about double what the good causes get through that as well. So we try and give back as much as possible in that. And this is then the prize structure. So the jackpot prize, if you match 6 numbers, is £25,000. So you need to match the numbers in order. So you choose your 6 numbers between 0 and 9. And if they come out in that order, those 6 numbers, then you win £25,000. If you match the first 5 or the last 5 in order, you win £2,000, and so on and so forth. And it drops down to, if you match the first 2 numbers or the last 2 numbers, then you'll win 3 free tickets, which are automatically entered into the next draw. So essentially you get 3 extra tickets automatically entered into your next draw there. Some people may have noticed, and hopefully it comes across, but just to cover it, is there's a little asterisk next to that £25,000. And normally those asterisks normally should raise alarms. Normally it means short, small print, read it carefully, make sure what it really means. At the bottom there, what that asterisk says is that £25,000 jackpot prize is covered by us. So if there is a jackpot winner, and we've had 2 jackpot winners on first draws, where we may not have sold, you know, £25,000 worth of tickets, or, you know, 5 times that if you needed to cover it from the 20%, but that is all covered by us. So should you have 2 jackpot winners on a draw or a handful, then that's fine. That will be covered by Gatherwell. And I say there's no risk to you for either the jackpot prize or any of the lower cash prizes to be covered. That's all managed as part of our external lottery management contract with the council there. So just to highlight that. And also then the odds of winning are 1 in 50. So anyone that plays this, you've got a 1 in 50 chance of winning. And also, as the lottery grows, every single ticket has the same chance of winning. So as it gets bigger, it doesn't make it more difficult to win the jackpot or anything like that. It just means we're likely to have more winners on a regular basis, and it's odds based, and that's how that price structure works. All of this information is covered on the website, so don't worry about sort of remembering or jotting notes about any of this sort of stuff. It's all covered in the website, and also this, you know, information will be sent out afterwards as well. But it kind of gives you an idea of how it works when you're speaking to others about it. There'll also be additional bolt-on prizes throughout the year as well. And these bolt-on prizes are additional prizes that are there to encourage people who may know about the lottery but have just never signed up to join. It's an additional prize to incentivize them to actually, a call to action, say, yeah, I will actually join because there is an additional prize this week. But also it's a nice message for those people that are already playing. Because it's a weekly lottery and because the prize fund is the same each week, it's an additional new prize that can be used to say, look, thanks for supporting. This is something extra that is offered into the draw. And sometimes people start with 1 ticket, and then when they see an extra, you know, bolt-on prize, they then sometimes buy an extra ticket. And that's why you'll have supporters that will increase their tickets maybe from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3. So it's a bit of a incentive to join, and also a bit of a retention tool for those players and supporters that you already have. And you'll get, as good causes, information about these extra bolt-on prizes throughout the year. And it's great for you to be able to share those, you know, share that information. We give you, and we'll come on to some of the support and the marketing material, but we'll give you extra marketing material for you to shout about and champion and promote these extra draws, as well as the regular weekly lottery as well. And now how it works for you as good causes, because you guys have got 2 hats. You could be players and you also are here to represent good causes. So this is how it works for you guys. So as he said, the lottery site is now live for you to go and register. Instead of clicking on the play, the next button next to it says, are you a good cause? Click on that and you can follow that flow through. It's very, very easy, very simple to sign up. We don't need just sort of your inside leg measurement or anything like that. We want to make it a streamlined process, but there is an approval process to make sure that the right people and the right organisations are on the site. You know, you're not private organisations, you're not for-profit organisations, you're not based outside of the Teignbridge district, and you are sort of a not-for-profit, a charity, a community interest company. You know, you are providing services for the Teignbridge district. So a bit of information there about how to join. Then you apply to join. And what we recommend is when you apply, it's almost a bit like sort of creating a bit of a Just Giving page in that instance, where you'll upload what you're raising money for, who you are, but we'll also need a bit of information about the organisation as well. We also recommend that you upload a logo or an image that represents your organisation. A logo is always best, but if you don't have a logo, then you can upload an image. But yeah, don't let that be a limiting factor, because we can always work with you on that if there is an issue as well. Then it would, you know, you as a good cause will be approved. So we make sure that only the right causes go onto the platform. Once you're approved, within a couple of days, then you'll have access to the marketing materials for you to start shouting about the lottery and when it goes live. And then importantly, how do you get the money? You know, this is what it's all about. It's fundraising. How does the money come into? How does it flow into your organisation's bank account? Well, when you register, you'll upload your bank account details. That's all secure within the platform. And then on a monthly basis, first week of the month, we will pay you the money into your account for the previous month's lottery ticket sales. So 50p from every lottery ticket will be paid directly into your bank account. And that is then, as I say, 95% of people all sign up on a recurring basis. You'll get that month on month, dependent on your lottery tickets. If your lottery tickets grow, you'll obviously raise more money as part of it. So it's nice, easy to see how you can increase your fundraising through that. And then, very importantly, there's absolutely no cost to you as an organisation to be a part of this. There's no sign-up costs and there's no recurring cost at all there. So as I say, more people that sign up, the more players and local residents will know about it, the more money that can be raised to support the excellent work that you do in and around Teignbridge district. And this is an example of what your web page can look like. So when you upload your details, we will build then, and the platform builds a page for every individual one of you. And you'll have your own URL. So you'll be able to share that information on your, as I say, on your Facebook, via email, via Twitter, via poster. You'll be able to share that information, but you'll have your own page here. The picture of the cat there, this is obviously an example organisation, but that image of the cat there would be where your logo goes. You then got a ticket target that you can set, and you can also increase that ticket target as your tickets grow. And those tickets, that 50 ticket goal is 50 tickets per week is the goal that's been set by this three-legged cat charity. It's got a bit about us. We recommend you put information about your cause specifically. You try not to use the blurb that is sort of auto added for you. Actually, it doesn't have to be War and Peace in terms of what you're adding there, but just a quick bit of information as to why you're raising money and the impact that can cause, that can do for your good cause. It's also then got information about previous draws, ticket numbers, winners on that page, but also importantly, wherever someone is scrolling on that page, it's got the chance for them to buy tickets to support you. This is once you're approved, we mentioned some marketing materials, and this is just an example of some marketing material that will be provided for one of the bolt-ons. So this was a staycation for an autumn stay, and this is from the Buckinghamshire Lottery, but it was for the cause that is Great Brick Hill Cricket Club. So this sort of suite of marketing materials would be provided to you on the platform when you log into your account in a digital version for you to share via email, via social media, a printable version, and we'll come on to, I'm going to repeat myself in a minute with a brief video to share, but it's really important that you make the most out of these. These are created for you. All you need to do is just share them. And this will give you a bit of information. This short video here will give you a bit of information about how you get the most out of being on the platform and using your dashboard. And that dashboard is on the website. All you do is simply log in using your email address and password from when you registered, and it gives you information about the lottery and the marketing materials available to you. So I'll be quiet for a minute and play this video to let you know how that works.
So you've signed up as a good cause. Now what do you need to do? Well, you need to let people know about it so they sign up and support your cause. We do all of the boring hard stuff for you, and we even give you tools to promote it, but you need to use them to spread the word. Start shouting from the rooftops and let as many people know as possible. Remember, the more people who know about your lottery page, the more supporters you will get and the more money you will raise. The sky's the limit. Never stop recruiting supporters. Not only do you scoop 50p from every ticket they buy, but they also help spread the word for you. And because people sign up as long-term supporters, you raise 50p from their tickets every week. And it all soon starts adding up. But it won't happen on its own. All you need to do is keep spreading the word. As a good cause, you get your own dashboard, which helps you keep track of how your lottery fund is performing. Download marketing leaflets or even customize them to say what you need to. When you first log into your dashboard, the name of your dashboard will be across the top, along with any immediate actions for you to do. You'll also see a chart to show how your tickets are growing. If you click on the supporters button, this will take you to a page where you can see all the details of the people that are supporting your cause. You can use the supporters details to thank supporters or provide updates on how their support is helping. The leaflet button is probably the most important button on your dashboard. Here you will find lots of leaflets that we create especially for your cause. You will find both printable and digital versions with your own logo on. What's more, they're specially tailored for you as they send people straight to your page where they buy tickets for your cause. All you need to do is make sure you use these leaflets to spread the word and watch your funds grow. So, print off as many printable versions and hand them out to as many people as you can. People can even scan the QR code that we put on there for you, which takes their device straight to your page, so they don't need to search for you when they visit the lottery site. Download the digital leaflet and email it to as many people as you know. Your digital leaflets contain a special button which directs them straight to your page, where it only takes a minute to sign up and start raising money for you. What's more, you can even change the text on all of these leaflets using the Customize button, so you can create your own version with a special message, like what the money you raise will be used for. A new leaflet design is available every few months, so you can keep the advertising materials for your lottery page fresh. So remember, your dashboard is your most important tool and provides you with everything you need to enroll your own supporters. We do all of the hard work for you, so all you need to do is shout about your page, spread the word, and watch the money you are raising grow.
And hopefully that was sort of a good introduction and sort of reinforced some of the information that we previously shared around using the marketing materials and the dashboard there. And the important part to that kind of that there is, if you sign up to the lottery, brilliant. That's the first part of it done. But also, people aren't going to come and find you just through osmosis, and are unlikely potentially to come onto the platform just generally and search for you if they don't know that you're on there. But if you do a bit of marketing, a bit of promotion, it doesn't need to be, you know, a big billboard campaign, or it doesn't have to be on the buses or anything like that. You know, share it in the channels that you have or the distribution that you have available to you. Because every time someone clicks on the link that you share or scans a QR code, if you're in an event, that will take them directly to your page to buy a ticket. So it makes it nice and simple. They don't have to come around searching for you. I mean, people can search for you on the website if they do know that you're on it, but by the virtue of them clicking on that link, your own link, they'll find you and buy a ticket and make it nice and easy there for you. So a little bit about the website itself. So it's bespoke, and so hopefully you'll have a look at it and you'll recognise some of the areas and some of the people potentially that are on the platform within Teignbridge. But it's powered and the backbone of Gatherwell Engine. So we're always updating and iterating the platform to make sure that it's the best experience for you as causes and also for players and supporters as well. It's fully PCI compliant, which means around kind of taking card payments online, and that is tested regularly. And it's also an accessible site. So as a public facing site, for anyone that may have accessibility challenges on using readers or anything like that on websites, it meets those criteria as well. It's 99.7% uptime, and the website is monitored 24/7. And also, if we're ever doing any development work and any releases to change the website, we'll do those overnight as well to minimize any impact for you as good causes or supporters. And it's fully responsive website. So about 75% of all people that access it will do via mobile or tablet. So the website is designed to reorg and position itself in a way that makes that experience seamless, whether you're on a desktop, as many of us will be now, or whether on an iPad or a phone to access the lottery. So we have, in terms of support, a dedicated telephone, a local phone number for telephone support, and also a dedicated email address for you as well. And that'll be answered by our team, but it will be in the brand of Teignbridge Lottery. But it's something, again, we want to make it for players and supporters. It is as local as possible, and we will respond via, obviously the telephone if it's asked, or via email, or also on the website there will be live chat as well. So if you've got questions and queries during office hours, then you can ask those regarding it through the live chat as well. There'll also be dedicated Facebook and Twitter channels that can be shared information, and please do reshare that information, because again, it just keeps the lottery present and people remembering, and those people that may not have realised you're on it, launch or after launch, it just keeps it fresh and reminding people. So please periodically, do shout about it, because it'll, and also shout about the difference the money that's been raised through the lottery as well for you. So what is the role of the councils? The council are the licensing body. Sorry, they are the license holders, and they actually all are a licensing body as well, but they are the license holders. They hold the Gambling Commission application license as the operator of the lottery. And we're here to make sure it runs as smoothly as possible. They have set up the eligibility criteria, and working very closely with sort of Teignbridge CVS around who will be eligible and getting as many of you good causes locally on the platform. And they'll be doing some promotion to get it out to the broader, wider public. But a big part of that will be, you've got a much more stronger emotional kind of pull of you as good causes to make that shout in terms of marketing and promoting your page there. Excuse me, sorry. And this is an example of the first lottery that we set up. It was originally Aylesbury Vale District Council. They've now gone unitary and part of Buckinghamshire, but they started with about 40 good causes on the platform. They now have well over 300 good causes, and over that time period have raised over £600,000 for good causes. So it's really interesting to see that grow. And from the first lottery that was ever set up in Aylesbury Vale to over 100 of these, about 115 of these throughout the UK. And we asked some of the good causes in Aylesbury, in Buckinghamshire, how did they promote themselves on the lottery? And Great Brick Hill Cricket Club, they've got at the time, so they joined back at the start, and they have 79, or when we asked them, they had 79 regular tickets, which was equating to just over £2,000 a year in terms of funds raised. And what do they spend their money on? Well, they invest it into the coaching and for the junior squad. And then we said, well, how did you promote the lottery? Well, they've got a clubhouse, which is, and obviously a bar. So what they said was they offered, if someone was playing the lottery, and they offered them a free drink as a little incentive to do so. Because that one drink might cost, depending how much a drink costs and where you are and what the bar is, but maybe £4 or £5. That seems like quite a lot for a £1 ticket, but actually bearing in mind people are playing for generally around about 2 years, that's quite a nice amount of income to generate from one individual supporter. But obviously not everyone has access to that kind of thing and won't be able to do it, but that was something that the cricket club did there, as what they say there was their little incentive. Carers Bucks are an independent caring charity, 28 tickets, £728 a year. What do? Well, they just added a link onto their email for their organisation. So at the bottom of their email signature, every email that went in and out of that organisation, they had a little link on it, a little bit of text on it that says, support us and play the community lottery. And anyone obviously that then clicked on that, bought a ticket, they raised more money from it. So a nice, easy way that is sort of automated in how they promoted it. Medical detection dogs, what did they do? Well, they added a link to their own website. So any visitors, any users coming onto their website, saw it and had the chance to go and link through onto their platform. And they regularly posted about it on social media as well. So again, different ways that you can promote it, low cost, no cost even, to engage your supporters or your visitors to your social channels. And lastly, Brill Sports and Social Club. I don't know it myself, but I imagine it's kind of a leafy cricket club with a nice green, houses around the cricket green. What did they do? They sort of went back to traditional, printed off the leaflets and popped it through the letterbox of their local residents. And then anyone wanted to could either scan the QR code or go online to go and support them there. So it just gives you an idea that you don't have to have big marketing campaigns or anything like that, but just use the marketing materials that are available to you and created and champion it in the best way possible to let your supporters know. And the more people that know about it, the more people that are likely to play. Also, if you, like I'm sure many people here will have a couple of different hats with different organisations or PTA groups or trustees or councillors, whatever it might be, please shout about it to different organisations that might not be here at the moment to get them on board as well. And hopefully we can make a real difference in Teignbridge district. And as we said, what's the commitment that you have for joining? Well, you get your own dedicated webpage, which I think we kind of get covered off there. You'll get a bespoke range of marketing materials, your dashboard that the video covered that will tell you how you're doing and any new notifications that you can log in and check. You'll also get a welcome pack to kind of take you through selling your tickets and promoting it. And also you'll get a weekly update as to how your lottery is performing as well. But the biggest part of the commitment is you get 50p in every pound, 50% of every ticket sold goes paid directly back to you on a weekly basis. And this is then kind of, we say your commitment, but it's a bit of a challenge for you. What we want to do is you can only launch this lottery once. We can only have one first draw, and we want to make sure that it goes as well as possible. And we want to make sure that coming into it, there's a real buzz around it. So we'll go through the dates and the timeline for the launch in a moment, but we're setting you that challenge of, can you sell, for every organisation here, can you sell 20 tickets? And 20 tickets, that's weekly tickets, might sound quite a lot for some organisations. For some, it might be easy. For some, it might be more of a challenge. That equates to between about 10 and 12 people, because people averagely buy 1.8 tickets per person. So that might be friends, family, people involved with the organisation. It might be you as organisers getting involved with some of the fundraising, and hopefully you can get some winnings from it as well, a part of the lottery. And we also say, please, can you have a staffed email address, someone that will actually see some of the communication that's coming out about the lottery? Because if there is a bolt-on draw, or if there is some new materials that we're saying, look, this has been created for you, download it and share it. If no one is answering that email, or if it's just a sort of an old or a dud email, you may never know about some of that information as well. Also, if you ever change your bank details or change any information about the organisation, then we'll try and contact you if we can't get the payments to you, or you want to go in and update it, then please make sure that that's done correctly. Also, if you have a change of sort of responsible person from your committee or trustees, then you can also change that information, but please, please contact us to do so, to make sure it's all still running and operating correctly. We say use your dashboard, use that information provided to you, and help us to help you. The idea with this is more you get behind it, the more money that will be raised, but we try to make it as easy as possible and fail safe as possible for you to raise money through the lottery. As I say, let's spread the word. Let's get as many people and good causes using it and being on the platform, and let's get as many local residents from far and get people buying tickets and raise as much money for the local area as possible, and really help this to make an impact for the third sector in and around Teignbridge. So this is the key date. So today, the Good Cause launch, the website is live for you to now go and register. So please go and take a look at that. As of the 1st of November, the tickets will go live. So we don't do the two in tandem, because we appreciate you might need to go and speak to committee or anyone else around kind of signing up. But we've got until the 1st of November, and then tickets go live to the wider population, wider residents. And then the first draw will be Saturday, the 3rd of December, and then it will be a weekly draw every Saturday at 8 o'clock after that. So that's a lot of information that I've kind of gone through to run through sort of how it all works, but hopefully that sort of covered a lot of it for you. But then very much happy to take sort of questions and queries from the chat. And we just wish everyone the very best. And we're really excited for this to make a difference within Teignbridge.
Okay, thank you for that. I think you've confused a few people with the last bit, but I've missed the thing. So will cash prize, sorry, I'm still writing them down. So can you go back over the challenge, Phil, about the 20 tickets to be sold? Is it 20 tickets every month? Is it one-off 20 tickets? You've blindsided us with that one.
Fine. So the 20 tickets is essential. So 95% of people all sign up on a recurring basis. So we would say when people buy tickets, either you can have 20 people buying one ticket a week, or you might have 10 people buying 2 tickets a week. Obviously, what we want to have is, if you ideally get 20 people involved, because if they only buy one ticket, they might then buy an extra ticket at some point, but it is 20 tickets that then generally will be on, 95% of people will all be on a recurring basis, but the challenge is 20 tickets.
Okay. I think it's one, because you said they could put the link in their email. There was a question about can they promote this site from their own website? So I think that's a definite yes, and we would encourage that.
Absolutely.
One about the cash prize. Do people automatically, if they win a cash prize, are they informed automatically? They don't have to look at numbers every week. And secondly, does the cash price change depending on how many tickets are sold for individuals buying tickets?
No, so to answer the first question, yeah, if you win a cash prize, we'll let you know. And then when someone wins a cash prize, you just log in to claim it, that's the point in which people can donate it back to the good cause if they would like to as well. With the second question, sorry, I just saw another question pop up. The second question around, the size of the prizes, and because it's a fixed amount for out of every ticket that goes into the prize fund, and the prize fund is what's called odds based, then every draw, every ticket has the same chance to win. There isn't a rollover, but what happens is sometimes there'll be more winners one week, sometimes there'll be less winners, but over the period of time, because it's odds based, it will pay out, the amount that goes in on that 20%. So that's kind of held in a ring-fenced amount for the prize fund, and that is then paid out for all the different sort of cash winners, but that doesn't change. The only part that changes around the prize fund is those additional bolt-on prizes.
Okay, and to confirm who can register as a good cause, my understanding is that with the council that we've agreed you need to be you don't need to be necessarily based in Teignbridge, but the benefits of your good cause need to be in Teignbridge. Did that make sense to anybody from the council?
What I'll just do is,
so we have things like the Samaritans that cover Torbay and South Devon as their area. They're not, their office is not in Teignbridge, but their services are supported across Teignbridge. And I think we're saying that's okay.
Yeah, in fact, Joey's just popped the terms and conditions in the chat, but that's right, Sue. The good cause needs to benefit Teignbridge residents is the bottom line.
Okay. To clarification, that 60% of the ticket sales goes to good causes in one way or another. 50p goes directly to the good cause chosen by the player. The other 10p goes into a central pot, which the district will are going to look at how they make a grant scheme from those collections of 10p's. Okay.
So just to expand on that, Sue, that means that the good causes can put in a bid for a specific project, which will sort of be in the pot, a bit like the sort of community funds.
Yeah, there is no. Is there a link on Teignbridge's site to the Gatherwell, to the Teignbridge Lottery site to register your good cause? The website address was given earlier to start uploading your details and register, and I wonder, Joey, whether you can put that in the chat again. Some people are looking now while we're online at the Teignbridge District Council website, but there is a direct link that will come through the chat in a minute. Can people purchase lottery gift cards for Christmas presents?
Yep, in the footer of the website, there is, under supporters, there's gift vouchers that people can purchase.
Okay, and the application page has just come up again. We will send that out, of course, when we send a copy of these questions and answers back out. Catherine's got it. Sue, do you want to come on screen? Are you brave?
Yeah, I will. I've just got a question for you, Phil, and that was just to clarify, under your commitment, you said about selling 20 tickets within 4 weeks of the cause going, my cause going live. Is that 20 tickets a week, or is that 20 tickets for the 4 weeks?
20 tickets a week.
Lovely. Okay, thank you. That's perfect.
And Phil, that's not a we throw you out if you don't sell.
No. Yeah, exactly, and that's why, because as I said, we can only launch once, and there's something around people joining from the start of something, and that's why it's really important to give it your all. Also, people can join throughout, so it's not to say if they don't join by the first draw they can't. That's not what it's all about. But what we're saying is, over the next the next period, let's give it a good go. Let's give it a great shout and do as much as we can to champion the lottery, and that's why it's a challenge. Yes, we're not going to sling you out, but this is a challenge. Yeah.
Can we gift aid these winnings?
No.
Winnings.
If some, sorry. So there's gift aid. It can't be due around because there's people are receiving something from their purchase. If someone is donating their prize, we're not able to do gift aid through the platform. But if someone wants to take, there's nothing wrong with someone taking the prize winning themselves and then donating it, which they could then add gift aid onto. But we don't do gift aid through the platform.
And Phil, as part of the marketing materials, Sheldon Wildlife Trust has asked whether you've mentioned Twitter and Facebook, whether we also include Instagram posts. Presumably we do.
Instagram isn't built into the platform purely on the basis that in terms of conversion, Facebook is absolutely the primary social media channel for this type of communication with regards to sort of the call to action to go and find out more. However, you can, when you're posting to Facebook, also post to Instagram through that. So there is the ability to do that.
So very slowly, so people can write it down. Can you just go through the timeline again of when groups can start to put their registration through this minute as they're on the site, but at what point can they start to sell tickets and when are the draws? Slowly, so people can write it down. Sorry, that sounded like a demand, didn't it? Please, can it be?
No, there you go. There's those dates, the key dates. So 1st of November, the website will then be, individuals will be able to go and purchase tickets. And the 3rd of December will be that first draw.
Okay, Rosie's come up with some concerns. Rosie, I think we knew this. So we have got some concerns about what the period we're entering, where people are going to be, financially it's going to be very difficult for lots of the people you're working with. We absolutely recognise that. And the small steering group has batted that back and forward. What we do recognise is that for most of you in the room, you're going to be the solution to people who are really struggling financially. And for those that can afford to buy tickets, some of that is helping you to support people who can't. So we absolutely, Gatherwell, the council, ourselves as CVS, have honestly, we've discussed it at great length, but if we can ask those that can afford to invest in your organisations and the work that we do, we know that longer term that will support people who are then struggling in the next however long we anticipate the cash crisis to be for. So we think this is not, pulling it is not the right idea. We absolutely are going to promote this to support your organisations. So I get the concern. It's nothing that we don't know ourselves. Any more? I've missed some. Thank you, Rosie. Okay. Yeah. How long will this? What, the whole lottery go on for? Is there a time commitment from the council to this lottery?
It's ongoing.
Can come off mute. Yeah, I mean, it's ongoing. I mean, obviously, we want it to be a success, and as long as it's a success and it's drawing in the funds for the third sector, we would continue to operate it. So yeah, as I said, there isn't any fixed term for the project.
Perfect. I like to think of ourselves as the first sector, of course, Amanda, but
of course, sorry.
And Tickets are only available online. There's not going to be that you can go to Tesco's and buy your Teignbridge lottery ticket.
No, so tickets are available online through the website. But if there are, and this is a good point actually that someone's raised, if there are individuals that have concerns with buying anything online or don't have access to, then they can also phone the telephone number that is that's for the support line. Through that support line, individuals won't be able to do card payments over the phone, but they will be able to set up a direct debit if they wish to.
Phil, there's a couple. Sorry, Sue, I was trying.
No, you go.
There's a couple more questions. People involved with the cause, they themselves can play the lottery, can't they?
Yeah. It's just us at Gatherwell and also the license holders at the council that we wouldn't want playing. But no, absolutely. If you're one of the volunteers or if you're one of the committee members, if you would like to, then absolutely you can play and support the cause and practice what you preach to encourage others to do so.
Okay, so it's just to confirm with everyone, there's quite a few about whether we're sharing the presentation. We will share the presentation as well as the video. So those that just want to send the presentation on to their trustees, we will do that. And eligibility again. So the services you provide need to be available in Teignbridge. I know for lots of groups, sometimes it's difficult if you cover Devon or South Devon or whatever, to go, well, of this, we've got 50p from this funder and it's only going to go to a Teignbridge resident, and this 50p from this funder has got to go to a Torbay resident. Some of that is quite difficult. I think for most of you, you can do something to make sure that the beneficiaries are Teignbridge residents, as far as you can do that. Is a charity organisation wound up, what happens to the supporters? Oh, if the charity, I have no idea. If the charity is wound up, God, Fran, that's a tough one, isn't it? What happens to the supporters over the year?
Yeah, so if I can answer that. If that were to happen, then the players, the supporters would be notified that their tickets would be moved to actually support the central fund. So they still continue to support and to play to enter the lottery, but their 50p essentially would then be allocated to the central fund. They could either continue with that, they could choose another cause if they would like to, or they could stop their tickets if they would like to, but they would be notified.
Okay, just a reminder that staff in the organisations can play the lottery. It's Gatherwell staff that can't, and Teignbridge District Council staff involved in this that can't. So all of you can play the lottery. I'm really aware of the time. We're probably running out of time, so we probably need to bring this something to an end. There is an offer from Gatherwell to support you now in the process of moving forward. Do you just want to remind them what that offer is in terms of phone lines and stuff? The joining process should be, we've kind of curated it over the years to make it as easy as possible to do that online. So please have a look there. But also on the website, if you do find any issues or challenges, you scroll to the bottom. It's got the rather than me sort of sharing it now, if you just go to the bottom of the website page, then it's got the contact phone number or contact email address if people do require support going through that process. If it is regarding sort of eligibility, or if it's regarding anything that's more sort of around your good cause yourself, then that may be maybe more directed through the CVS or the council. But we can field some of those as a support channel. But yeah, it should be pretty self-explanatory through signing up online. But there are support details at the bottom of the website if needed. And we're going to spotlight Holly. We also are offering up Holly for any group that would like a bit of support. If you don't have a logo, you're small, anything like that, you want designed. So we're also able to take you through the process if that's helpful. So let's take one more.
So there was just one more question that came up. People can cancel their direct debits and tickets at any point, can't they?
Yep, yeah. So there's as part of the legislation that tickets that have already been entered into the draw, we can't do a refund on. But if people did need to stop their payments, then they can do so. So yeah, that's fine.
Can we put Holly's email address? And you will type it now. It's office@teencvs.org.uk, or phone the CVS and we'll transfer you over. So thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. Good luck. I'm sure there will be 100 questions, just aside, just that people ask you, players ask you, and what have you. Go back to Gatherwell or ourselves. It's not a problem. Lots of support. So we're going to say goodbye, I think, now. Is that okay? Council, are you okay to say goodbye?
So thank you, Sue. Thank you, CVS. Thank you, Phil. So here's to a good, successful fundraising for everybody.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.